Hello, everyone. Welcome to the day 4 of the micro webinar on heart health, a fitness perspective to heart health. My name is Rajiv. I'm the CEO and the Chief Health Officer at the Nuvo Vivo Center for Obesity, Lifestyle Disorders and Research. We are an online health and wellness company. We are a medical fitness company. We help clients across the globe online through our 3-month programs to help them reverse their age, look younger, and also manage lifestyle disorders such as diabetes, cholesterol, thyroid, PCOD, fatty liver, uric acid, etc. So here today on day 4, we are going to talk about exercises. What are the kind of the exercises that is healthy for heart? What are the exercises that a person who have had heart ailments or heart issues, what kind of exercises should that person be doing, and what is the impact of these exercises? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So as you know, there was this recent study which was published in Lancet. Lancet is a peer-reviewed medical journal, one of the oldest and the most famous medical journal. And there was this journal which came in there which said that the lack of any physical activity kills as many number of people as that of smoking. So the impact that it has on you, if you look at it in terms of smoking and the lack of any physical activity at all, is nearly the same. Nearly around 5 million people die every year because of either smoking or because of lack of physical activity and related issues. So when we talk about activity, what are we talking about here? Okay, so now I want to make a clear distinction when I talk about activity into two parts. Okay, one is an non-exercise activity, another one is an exercise activity. What is a non-exercise activity? Activities such as like what I'm doing right now, I'm talking to you, right? It's an activity. I'm spending energy for that, but it's not an exercise. Walking is a non-exercise activity. Okay, walking is great. It's a brilliant cardiovascular activity, but it is a non-exercise activity, meaning it's good. I'm not saying walking is bad. Okay, walking is great. It's especially if you step out and walk, not just are you burning calories, but you're also getting some fresh air. It will do tremendously good for your general well-being, your peace of mind, everything, your mood, everything. So when I talk about non-exercise activity, walking is a non-exercise activity. But how much calories are you burning when you doing walking kind of a non-exercise activity? There's an easy way to figure that out. Take your weight in kilograms, multiply it by 2. That's the amount of calories that you're burning when you brisk walk for around half an hour. So if I'm 75 kilograms of body weight, and if I brisk walk for half an hour, I'm burning somewhere around 150 calories in half an hour. Okay, so that's a rough estimate. Of course, it all depends upon, am I walking on a beach, or am I walking up a hill, or am I walking down a slope? All these things comes into picture. My weight, obviously, all these things are important to calculate the exact measure. So that's about the non-exercise cardiovascular activity. There's another, now coming to the exercise part of calories burned. There are two types, or rather, let's call it 3 types, in fact. So the first one is obviously the cardiovascular exercises, right? So now we are done with the non-exercise activity, such as walking, which is a cardiovascular activity. Now comes the exercise part of it. So that will be, first one will be vascular exercise itself. So that would be what? Running, swimming, cycling. These are all cardiovascular exercises. So any exercises which requires you to gasp for breath or increase your heartbeat rate is a cardiovascular exercises. Okay, so how much calories do you burn in a cardiovascular exercise, such as running? I earlier told you that a 75 kilogram person walking for around half an hour would be burning twice his weight in terms of calories, right, for half an hour. If you're running, it would be double that off. So say a 75 kg person running for half an hour would be spending, at a moderate intensity running, would be spending somewhere around 300 calories in half an hour. Okay, and if you're cycling, probably slightly lesser than that, somewhere around 250 to 300 range. Same for swimming also, somewhere around 250 to 300 range in half an hour is a rough calorie range. Again, as I said, it all depends if you're cycling up a hill and if you're cycling down a hill, a slope. All these things would be changing, right? It's so much more difficult to run on a beach than to run on a flat ground, right? So all these things comes into picture. So that's about the exercises on the cardiovascular part. So now when you run for the cardiovascular activity, so are they safe for heart? So cardiovascular means that cardiovascular, relating to your heart and your lungs. So you're primarily exercising those two organs. And in the first micro webinar I mentioned that heart is in fact a muscle, right? It's a pumping muscle. It's a pumping machine and it's a muscle. So when you run, your heart actually beats faster. So what is a heartbeat rate? Normal heartbeat rate is somewhere around 60 to 100 beats per minute is a normal heartbeat rate of a person. Okay, and it obviously varies depending upon age and medical conditions and hypertension. All these parameters comes into deciding that, but 60 to 100 is a normal, healthy, permissible range for most of the people on a resting state. Okay, so when we start doing cardiovascular activity, obviously the heartbeat rate will increase, right? But to how much can it increase? According to the fitness and parameters and everything, there is a rough method to estimate that. Okay, so the maximum rate of at which the heart can beat is 220 minus your age, meaning if your age is, say, you're 30 years of age, 220 minus 30, so that's 190. 190 beats per minute is the maximum allowed or permissible within the safe limits of the amount of beats that your heart should be doing in a minute. Okay, now if you're running, the safe range is to be at around 60 to 75 percentage of your maximum. So that is 60 to 70 75 percentage of your maximum, which is 190 in this earlier example that I said. So that will be somewhere around 140 beats per minute is the maximum that one can achieve, right? So it depends upon that's what I was mentioning, it depends upon the age also. Okay, so that's the thing. So you have various activity trackers, monitors, which can actually tell you what is the heartbeat rate when you're running, when you're doing any exercise activity. So now you know how much is the permissible level. Okay, so now when you do all these things, I keep mentioning it in my previous micro webinars also, if you are already someone who has any heart related ailments or any conditions, you have to speak to your cardiologist and get an approval from these people, and then accordingly do these things. Okay, the one that I'm saying is a general guideline for a general healthy person, and if a person is having heart related ailments, strongly suggest that you keep your doctor also aware and in loop with whatever exercises that you are doing. Okay, so that's about the heartbeat rate. What else did I miss out? Yeah, so these numbers are laid out by the American Heart Association. So I think, yeah, so that's basically what I want to talk about, the cardiovascular exercises. So now that takes us to the second kind of exercises. So cardiovascular exercise, I said it's predominantly exercising your heart and your lung, but when you have a heart condition or had similar conditions, please speak to your doctor before going ahead and doing this. But the numbers and things that I mentioned is for a normal healthy person who otherwise do not have any heart issues and wants to prevent it from occurring in future. That comes us to the second kind of exercise, which is resistance training or the weight training. So now the resistance training or the weight training is basically any exercises which puts your muscle fibers across a resistance. So when, for example, when you lift a dumbbell and do some bicep curl, or when you do those exercises, these muscle fibers is the one which is actually lifting these weights, right? So these muscle fibers will have a minor break in between them because that muscle fibers are across the tension. When one muscle fiber breaks, body rebuilds this muscle fiber, but with much better quantity and quality. So that's how, so instead of one muscle fiber which is broken, body rebuilds it like this, right? Provided your nutrition is proper, you're giving enough amount of sleep, and all these things comes into picture. Okay, so that's how a resistance training happens. So what happens? Your muscle fibers increase in terms of quality and quantity. And what does muscles do? Muscle needs a lot of energy for it to sustain. So if your muscle mass is increasing, then your metabolism is actually increasing. And mind you, most of the commonly seen the lifestyle disorders are in fact metabolic disorders. So improving your metabolic parameters by improving your muscle quality and quantity helps in not just maintaining a healthy heart or maintaining healthy cholesterol levels or anything, but even improving your insulin sensitivity, for example, which means managing diabetes and many other things. Okay, and it also, so it's basically lean body mass which is actually getting increased when you're actually doing these kind of exercises. So that's the impact of resistance training. So resistance training also has an indirect impact, greatly a positive impact on having a healthy heart. So go ahead and do that, right? Third kind of exercises is yoga, right? So I can't yoga is a lot more than just about physical exercise. It connects the mind, body and soul. It gives you peace of mind. It kinds of calms your nerves, soothe your nerves, everything, right? So it also helps in kind of bringing down your stress levels, thereby automatically working on bringing down your blood pressure or your heartbeat rate and everything. So these are the three kinds of exercises. So exercises do play a very, very, very important role in helping to have a healthy heart. Only thing, however, is that when you are having a certain medical conditions, please do speak to your doctor, cardiologist, or whoever your doctor is, and get an opinion and then get into doing this. Okay, and do it always under a person who actually understands these exercises and how it impacts your body. For example, say a person who is having piles or hemorrhoids, if that person goes to gym and starts lifting weight, his piles and hemorrhoids will become worse, right? Similarly, a person who's just after, say a lady after pregnancy, it's a very bad idea to lift weights. A person having arthritis, these are the examples that I often say. A person having an arthritic knee, if you ask him to do a cardiovascular activity and run, very bad idea, right? So every exercise has a different impact on the body. You need to do these exercises by looking at what other medical conditions or physical conditions, if any, that person has, and only then you kind of bring things together, right? Becoming healthy is basically three things: eating right, being physically active, and sleeping well. These three things are like a beautiful pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. All these three coming together is when you have the final picture, and that's when it starts making sense and helping your body to actually be healthy, right? So that's what I want to talk about. The exercises help, cardiovascular exercises. So if a person is actually having a probably slightly old and having age related ailments and cannot run and things like that, walking is definitely something that person can, should do. It has its positive impacts. I'm not saying walking is bad. I'm just saying walking is not an exercise, because I've seen people who walks for half an hour, burns around 150 calories, comes back and eats two dosa. One dosa is around 100 calories. So people don't get that how it comes into the scheme of things. So that's very important, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about today to you guys. Tomorrow we're going to talk about exercises post a cardiac event, or a cardiac rehabilitation, to be more specific. So stay tuned, and I hope you guys are enjoying and liking this information that we are spreading. Do share this information if you like this, and as always, stay healthy, stay fit, stay young, and stay safe. Take care. Bye.